So how's it going, guys? So today I've got the Akaso Brave 4 Pro ActionCam. Told you guys I'm going to be doing a bit of a review on it. So I'm heading up to do some fishing, and we'll kind of see the quality. Right now we've got it on 1080p 60 frames per second, and what I've kind of noticed is it does have the capability to film in 4K, but it's not smooth. The footage isn't smooth when I move the action cam around. So I found that taking it down to 1080 60 frames per second kind of works well. I haven't looked at the 2.7K at, I think it was 60 frames per second, to see what that's like, but yeah, 1080p 60 frames per second is working quite well. And I've got the image stabilization on at the minute, so let's see. And after like looking through this action cam a bit more closely, I've noticed it's got motion detector on it, so you can kind of have it situated somewhere, and then when anything walks past it, it activates the record. So I think that potentially might be a good shout for when we're out hunting with the rifles, because we could connect the app on the phone to the camera, and then we'll kind of be notified when anything, you know, any kind of slight movements. So yeah, so far I'm liking it. The only issue so far what I've noticed is when you're recording and you've got it on your head or in your hand, there's no kind of signifier or notification for you to know that it's recording, that there's no red light or anything like that. But I suppose that's how it is. But yeah, we'll see how we go. And another function I've also figured out how to use is the selfie function. So basically this action cam has a dual screen. It's got a screen on the back and a screen on the front. So with the screen on the front, you can take selfies. I wasn't sure how to get this activated, but I've found that if you just press up or hold up on the button on the side, it goes into selfie mode. That's a really good shout. But you can't change the mode, selfie mode to video mode, while you're recording. You have to stop it and then activate that mode, which isn't really a problem. Obviously it would be better if you could do it while you was recording, kind of like how you do on phones, but yeah, it's not a problem. Right now I've got it on super wide. You can have there's super wide, there's wide, and then there's narrow. So obviously depending on how much of the scene you want to get in the shot, you can choose which one. And they also have different quality settings, so you could have, you know, medium, high, or low. I'm going for high. So yeah, catches up in a bit. And another thing why I really like this camera is you can set the ISO settings yourself. So there is an auto setting where obviously whatever kind of light conditions you're in, it will automatically adjust. But then you can also set those ISO settings yourself. So if you're like myself, a bit familiar with camera settings and things like that, it helps just to be able to have a bit of independence to what you set those parameters at. So yeah, that's a really good function, I thought, the independent ISO setting. Alright, mate.
You're not fishing, are you?
Yeah.
Can't fish today.
Nah. Oh, is it match day?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yes,
Yeah,
Wednesday.
full close Wednesdays.
Oh fucking hell. Alright, no worries.
Come back about 3 o'clock, you can fish.
No worries. I forgot, totally lost track of the days. No worries. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, so people, I totally forgot it's Wednesday. It's match fishing day today, so obviously it's only for the match fishing, and I'm not match fishing, I'm just, you know, recreational. So I'm not going to be able to test this out at the lake, but I'm going to figure out something that I can do. Don't worry about it. All right, stay tuned. So guys, slight change of plan. As I mentioned before, it's match day at the lake I just went to, so we're not able to fish unless you're match fishing. So what I'm going to do is, because I really want to do a review on this. Obviously I've got some footage on it already, but I want to get a bit more just so you guys can really see the capabilities and make your own decisions. So what I'm going to do now is just walking down to the canal. So I'll do a bit of fishing there, we'll set up, and then yeah, we'll see how we get on. Had any joy, lads? But you had
Fucking had a few takes, but I don't think they've landed anything.
Oh yeah, okay. It's fucking much cleaner than it fucking used to look.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But then again, it's because of the fucking 6 weeks holiday.
Yeah. Is it proper weedy in there? Yeah.
Weedy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the canal, probably pop back in a bit. Sweet, right, lads? Safe, man. Okay, guys, we've just got to the canal. I've just baited up my line, which is one of these replica maggot kind of things. And now we're just gonna see how we get on. I haven't got that much battery left, but it will do for what I need to do. So guys, I've just done my second cast. I had a few knocks on the first one, but yeah, I just casted out again because I saw some action over on the other side of the bank, so I thought, let me try. And I'm screwing that this isn't private property, because mate, the amount of squirrels running around in these bushes, if I had my air rifle I'd have a laugh. But yeah, that's not the task of the day. Seeing what this action cam's saying and seeing if we can catch some fish. So right now I've just got my little setup over here, nothing major, my stool, my little juice and my tackle box. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted, let you know how we get on. Alright guys, so it started raining. I'm going home because I forgot the waterproof housing. So yeah, I don't want to stay out with this and get it messed up before I've even really tested it. So yeah, see you later. So I've just got back home. As I said, it was tipping down earlier at the canal, so I didn't have the waterproof housing. So what I'm going to do now is I've just put the waterproof housing on. I'm going to bang the action cam outside. I'm just going to leave it out there for about half an hour. It's tipping it down. But yeah, I'm going to pull it outside and then yeah, I'll just leave it there. Come back in about half an hour. Right. So yeah, that's my kind of, you know, on the go feedback on the Brave 4 Pro. Now at the end of the video you just watched, I decided to leave the GoPro outside for half an hour in the waterproof housing. I left it recording for 30 minutes and brought it back inside, gave it a check over just to make sure there was no leakages or anything, and yeah, it worked just as it states on the box. If you did notice in the video, the sound went a bit low when I had it in the housing, which is expected because obviously it's fully waterproof. But there is another case, I wouldn't call it waterproof because it's got holes in the back so sound can get in, so it's more water resistant or splash proof. So you have that case there. The only thing I did notice was there's a zoom function on the video where you can zoom in and zoom out, which is really good because, you know, a lot of other action cams don't have that. The only problem is when you put the image stabilization mode on, you can't zoom in with that function, with that when it's in that mode. You have to take it off image stabilization mode and then you're able to zoom in and out. So I wasn't really happy with that, because if I'm doing a video and I want to zoom in and out, I ideally want it to be as smooth as possible, and having to take that image stabilization off doesn't enable that to happen. So the option to have the image in wide, super wide or narrow mode, that is only an option in photo mode. It's not an option in video mode. So those are other things to bear in mind. As I said before, it's got the motion detection setting, so you enable that motion detection setting place it up somewhere, and then once something moves past it or it detects some motion, it will start recording. That was really good. Let me see what other options. It's got a diving mode, so from what I've read, I haven't used that function yet, but from what I've read is once it goes underwater, it compensates for the color changes that may occur once it's in water. So obviously it won't be as you see it exactly, but it will be as, you know, as close as they can get it. But I'll do another test on that, underwater test further down the line, and keep you guys updated. Also, it's got an external mic option. Now I've got a microphone which is attached to my camera at the minute. I am going to try and hook it up and see how it works. I just need to see if I've got the adapter to test that out. But yeah, once I do the external mic test, I'll do the external mic versus the built-in mic, and then you guys can see how that works, and, you know, again, make up your own decisions. Let me see if there's any other functions. They've got special effects functions: black and white, negative, retro, red and green and blue. I haven't tested those out. Power frequency, auto 50 Hz or 60 Hz. Mine's just set to auto at the minute. Language, date and time, sounds. You can also do a upside down setting, where if you've got, you know, maybe you've got the GoPro upside down, you can click the button to change that around. There's a drive mode, which I'm unsure of what that is. Maybe is it more kind of stability. Yeah, and then other functions. You can also format the memory cards that you put in there from this device. It does say in the manual 64 gigabyte SD card is kind of optimal. I think in this one I've got 128, either 128 or 64, but yeah, they both work fine. And again, when I was talking about the options for the video resolution, I have found that 1080 pixels, sorry, at 60 frames per second works kind of best for what I'm using it for. It's fairly smooth, and yet it can kind of, I'm assuming the processor within this can cope with that footage. When I've ramped it up to 4K at 30 frames per second, it's kind of gives a very kind of jittery kind of motion to it. I will test the 10.7K at 30 frames per second, as well as 1080p at 120 frames per second, and see what those kind of options they pump out. But I'll do further reviews down the line on those. This is kind of just my first unboxing, me walking around and seeing how it what the usage is like and the functionality. But so far I'm happy with it. Yeah, so it's got a rubber housing around it, and then it comes with the waterproof cases and a bunch of accessories, where you've got the helmet mounts where you can attach it to a cap, a helmet. You've got mounts where you can attach it to a pole. I figured out a way to attach it to my rifle, so now I'm able to put my action cam on the front of my rifle, well, on the scope of my rifle, on the top of it, and then I'll be able to get some footage in that with that kind of perspective. So it will be from that gun point angle, which I think is really interesting. But I'll do a my rifle loadout in future, and you guys will see what that's all about. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the review, and I've definitely recommend this. I would. I've used it a few times, and I'll be using it much more in future, and capturing a lot of footage with it. So yeah, see you guys next time.